A couple of years ago, there was astronauts that were stuck in space because their spacecraft malfunctioned. But in 1991, there was actually an astronaut who was stuck in space because his country stopped existing while he was on a space station. And they were like, actually, you got to hang out up there for a little while. So in 1991, there was a Soviet cosmonaut who launched into space while the Soviet Union was around. And he was supposed to stay up there for 5 months. And he ended up having to stay for 10 months because in the middle of his trip, the Soviet Union stopped existing and they needed to figure out a way to get him down. His name was Sergei Krikalev, and he had traveled up to space with 2 other people, one of whom was a British astronaut who only stayed for a week. This was at the Mir space station. And then the other cosmonaut was from Kazakhstan. The Soviet Union in the past, and now Russia today, launched their rockets from Kazakhstan, from the Baikonur Cosmodrome, which seems incredible. I would love to visit it. You should go visit if you can. The other cosmonaut was from Kazakhstan, so it actually wasn't a problem for him to just like land, but they were like, oh, you can't come down. And so he ended up having to stay for 10 months. Sergei was sometimes referred to as the last Soviet, but he eventually made it back down to Earth. While they were up on Mir, the cosmonauts would communicate via ham radio with people like all over the globe. And they would get news, not the official Soviet Union news source, but like news sources from all over that would tell them the real deal about what was happening on the ground. And so they had this like alternate form of communication, which must have been great to like actually know what was happening instead of just getting like whatever the party line was. So yeah, the last Soviet in space, he must have felt pretty lonely up there.